Welcome back, everyone. Glad you could join us again. We always like checking out what's happening over at the AI Agent Store. Lots of interesting tools popping up. And today, we're looking at one that seems to be making some serious waves. It's called Chroma, an open source AI tool.
Yeah, Chroma. So basically think of it as an open source vector database.
Mhm.
And it's also an embeddings engine. It's pretty fundamental stuff for building certain kinds of AI apps.
Okay, vector database, embeddings engine.
Yeah,
Let's unpack this a little. What exactly is Chroma designed for? Like, what problem does it solve?
right. So its core purpose is really for building retrieval augmented AI applications. You know how large language models, LLMs, are super powerful,
Yeah.
but sometimes their knowledge is a bit stuck in the past, right? Or they might, well, confidently make things up.
Hallucinate. Yeah, we hear that term a lot.
Exactly. So Chroma helps with that. It's like giving the AI application a really efficient external memory or a fact checker it can consult in real time. It stores, unless you quickly query these vector embeddings.
Yeah.
Those are the numerical representations of your data, along with metadata.
Yeah.
This whole setup is, really crucial for powering what we call RAG workflows,
Yeah.
retrieval augmented generation.
A RAG, right. So it helps ground the AI in like specific current information instead of just its training data. That sounds really useful. Okay, so that's the what. Now, where does it get really interesting? How are people actually using Chroma and who's getting the most out of it?
Oh, yeah, lots of practical uses. Number one is building those LLM applications that need custom memory. So not just generic knowledge, but your specific data. It's also really good at storing and querying those vector embeddings, like I said, but with quite advanced metadata filtering.
Meaning you can be very specific in your searches?
Exactly. Very precise context retrieval. And developers seem to really like it for rapid prototyping. It has Python and JavaScript SDKs, so you can get it running locally pretty quickly. Less setup hassle, more building.
Always a plus.
Definitely. And then it's designed to scale. You can start on your laptop and then move to a managed cloud setup pretty smoothly. So it's built with good developer ergonomics in mind, and it integrates well with other tools for building sort of production-ready LLM apps.
Okay, so it sounds like it's really hitting the mark for ML engineers, obviously, but also software developers, maybe data scientists, AI researchers too.
Yeah, that's exactly the crowd, those who are really hands-on building and refining AI systems.
Now, something I found fascinating was this figure about its autonomy level. It was rated at 34%. What does that actually mean in practice?
Right, the 34%.
Yeah.
It's quite telling. It basically means Chroma functions more like an open source database toolkit rather than some kind of fully autonomous agent. It doesn't really make decisions on its own or like self-optimize in complex ways.
Ah, okay, so it needs the developer to tell it what to do.
Precisely. You, the developer, need to explicitly configure it for tasks. Things like data ingestion, how queries should run. It requires that direct input. It puts the control firmly in the developer's hands, which honestly a lot of engineers prefer.
Yeah.
They want that granular control.
That makes sense. Less of a black box and more of a powerful tool you actively wield, so it's not trying to be fully independent.
And another key point, it's open source and free, right?
Totally. Open source and free to use. That's a big deal.
Yeah, that really lowers the barrier to entry for experimenting and building.
Absolutely. And beyond just cost, it means transparency. You can see the code, modify it if you need to. There's a community around it. That's huge for both research and for companies who want to build on open standards.
So thinking about what this all means for you, our listeners, Chroma seems like a really foundational piece of tech. It's powerful, it's accessible, especially if you're getting into more advanced AI development, needing that reliable data retrieval for your LLMs. It really is. And it kind of highlights an interesting trend, doesn't it? How these specialized open source tools, even if they aren't fully autonomous themselves, they're actually the components empowering developers to build incredibly sophisticated and customized AI systems.
That's a great point. Maybe the future isn't just one giant AI, but lots of these smart, focused building blocks.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, are we shifting towards an ecosystem of highly specialized AI tools rather than these monolithic systems that try to do absolutely everything? Food for thought.
Definitely something to think about. Well, if Chroma sounds like something you could use, or you just want to explore other cutting-edge tools like it, do check out the AI Agent Store. It really is a great place to keep up with what's new and impactful. And as always, thanks so much for tuning in and for rating our discussions. It really helps others find the show. You can find more info and explore tools like Chroma over at http.aiagentstore.ai.